Want to speak real German from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at GermanPod101.com.
Everybody, what's up? I'm Henrik. Welcome to a new episode of GermanPod101.com. You see, it's still not the best weather ever here in Germany, but soon we're getting there. And then I can totally recommend you to come here, travel here. And what do you need for traveling? Exactly. You need 20 phrases you must know for traveling. Here we go. First phrase, when you don't know where to go, you ask, Könnte ich eine Karte bekommen? Could I have a map? Actually, you could also ask this to your friend who is going to traveling, because card also works for postcard. So if you have to stay home and not traveling, you can ask for a Karte, for a card, or you can ask for a map, which we also call Karte, and then you can find your way. Number 2, very important sentence. Sprechen Sie Englisch? Do you speak English? Here in Germany it's quite common, people do speak English, even though the older ones not so much. But whenever you meet like a young couple or young people on the street and you really cannot find your way or you're really struggling, you can always try to even talk to them in English. But if you want to be polite, you can ask in German. Sprechen Sie Englisch? And then the person will know, oh, okay, sure, I'm going to try to help you out. Gibt es einen Bus vom Flughafen in die Stadt? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? Often airports are kind of outside of the city, right? In Germany, or actually in Europe, we have Ryanair. Probably you've heard about it. It's like cheap airline, but we all want to save money, so it's good. But often the airports of this Ryanair are actually not in the city. So if you fly Ryanair to Barcelona, you end up, I don't know, 100 kilometers out of Barcelona, and then you always have to take a bus. This also happens in Germany. For example, the Frankfurt airport of Ryanair is about 100 kilometers out of Frankfurt, so you will have to ask for a bus to the city. How do you do this? Gibt es einen Bus vom Flughafen in die Stadt? Number 4. Ist das WLAN kostenlos? Is the Wi-Fi free? It's getting more and more there here in Germany. I remember when I was traveling in the US, you could get free Wi-Fi everywhere, even in the streets. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're not that far here now, but more and more places, train stations, airports have free Wi-Fi. So you must be pretty unlucky to not find free Wi-Fi when you're like flying in or coming by train. So yeah, bring your devices, and in any case, you can ask, Sprechen Sie Englisch? Do you speak English? To find your way. Number 5. Haben Sie freie Zimmer für heute Nacht? Do you have any vacancies for tonight? Yeah, if you're going to a hotel or hostel or I don't know, an apartment and you haven't booked previously or ahead, then first of all you need to know if there's any space left for you, or if you should go on and search for another place if you don't want to crash on somebody's couch. So then go to the hotel, go to the reception, ask if they're free rooms, and usually they should be able to help you out. Unless, you could also just walk through the streets and ring a doorbell and ask, Haben Sie freie Zimmer? Do you have vacancies? But this might get you in trouble with police, I don't know. Number 6. Könnte ich in ein anderes Zimmer wechseln? Could I move to a different room? If you're really unhappy with your room and you're like, oh gosh, no, I don't want to stay here, then you ask the receptionist, hey, could I move to another room? It didn't happen to me so far. I was quite lucky. Whenever I was traveling, I had pretty nice rooms, but I have heard it happens, like if it's 30 or I don't know, the neighbors of the other room are super loud doing whatever, then it's legit to ask for a different room. If you want to change your room and you ask in German, they're probably even more willing to help you out. Number 7. Ich habe eine Reservierung. I have a reservation. Yeah, this is what usually is the case, not like previously when you had to ask if there's any room left. Usually you have a reservation and then everything works kind of itself. You just go to the desk, ask, hey, ich habe eine Reservierung. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, what's your name? And if you watch my other videos, you will know how to say your name in German, and then you can check in your hotel all in German, all good, and you have a perfect start for your trip. Könnten wir das Menü haben, bitte? Could we have the menu, please? Yeah, going to a restaurant, you of course want to know what the food offering is before you just order anything. The waiter comes with the menu, And you can open it, search for your entree and for your drink. Beer I'd recommend, and then, oh, what I'm gonna eat, Schnitzel. Eat Schnitzel. Schnitzel is awesome. Good German food. I love it. Haben Sie Empfehlungen? Do you have any recommendations? Yeah, if you don't want to listen to my recommendation, eating Schnitzel and having a beer, you can also ask the waiter for recommendations of the house. Often they're even like special offers or menu of the day, something like that. Yeah, just go ahead and ask for recommendations. Often you even like will be surprised of some cool food you wouldn't have thought of if you have chosen by yourself. Now we're getting to the sad part of all the restaurant evening. Die Rechnung bitte. Could I have the check, please? Yeah, of course, if you eat in a restaurant, in the end there's always a payment. And if you want to ask for the check or for the bill in Germany, that's die Rechnung. So you can just point out your finger to the waiter, die Rechnung bitte, and he will be happy to bring you the bill. You can leave a little tip. We usually tip about like 10%, and then everything's fine. Ich bin allergisch gegen Erdnüsse. I'm allergic to peanuts. Yeah, this happens. If you don't eat peanuts, and if you're not sure whether there are peanuts in your food or not, it's a good idea to ask, or just to raise attention to the waiter. Hey, ich bin allergisch gegen Erdnüsse, so please don't bring me any peanuts. Number 12. Wasser bitte. Water, please. Other than in the US, in Germany it's not common that you get free water at the table during your evening in the restaurant. You always have to order it, unfortunately. So whatever you want to drink, if it's beer, Coke, or just like water from the sink, you would always have to order it and pay it. So don't expect the waiter to bring you water for free. If you order water, then it also will appear on the bill. But therefore we used to have sparkling water, which in my opinion is way better than just sink water. Come on, it's so boring. Wie viel kostet das? How much is this? Yeah, if you're really thirsty, want the water, but are kind of out of money, then you should ask maybe how much it is, and then you can use this phrase, wie viel kostet das? How much is this? Or yeah, anything in the souvenir store, there's like this stupid little thing you want to bring home, but you don't want to spend a fortune on it, then better ask before, how much is this? Wie viel kostet das? Oh, see, sun is coming out. Now's the right time to travel here. First learn the sentences, but then travel here. Yeah, you see, when the sun is shining like this, you should pack your stuff. Ich möchte 10 von diesen. I'd like 10 of these. I remember when I went to Brazil, there's always this so-called feira. It's like a fair where they sell food and toys and everything. But then, of course, the most exciting for me were the fruits, because they had so many exotic fruits. And then I went there and like, oh, I had like 10 of these and 5 of these and 3 of that, and there were fruits I've never seen, so I wanted to try. So this might happen to you if you come here, that you see fruits or vegetables that are not so common in your country. Then you can really use the sentence. Yeah, you should always try the new stuff. Ich möchte das hier. I'd like this. Coming back, if you're at the fair and you really don't know, like there's something you've never seen, but then you want to point at it and say you want this, and you want to impress the one who's selling you, the seller, speaking German, then you can just say, ich möchte dies, and he will be like, cool, here you got it. Number 16. Könnten Sie mir einen Rabatt geben? Could you give me a discount? Also, this happens. We have flea markets where there's people sell their used stuff, or even on the markets, on the Sunday farmers market, whatever. Sometimes you can try to negotiate, and you can always ask. It's not impolite. If you feel like, oh cool, this is a place where it's just common to negotiate a little, you can ask for a discount. Even though don't expect too much. I know in other countries it's common that, okay, the price is 20, but he's already happy if he gets 10. Yeah, no, here it's more like if the price is 20, you can maybe negotiate it down to 18, or it always depends. Also, I mean, if you ask in German, probably you will waste your chances that you really get a discount, because they will appreciate your effort to speak German. Don't be pushy on it, but try and negotiate it a little and you might get your discount. Nehmen Sie Kreditkarte? Do you take credit card? You should definitely bring your credit card. In most supermarkets and yeah, stores, whatever, you can use the credit card, but still there's a lot of like smaller shops or the flea market, apparently they usually don't take credit cards, so it's not as widespread as in the US, but we're getting there. We still like our cash in our hands, see what we're paying with. It's also dangerous to always pay by credit card. You don't really see how much money you spend, especially on holiday. You're more like, oh cool, I want to enjoy my time, spend some money here, spend some money there, and then credit card in. And then just returning home, you get the letter with all the money you spent, and you're like, oh holy, that was a lot of money. Number 18. Wo ist der Bahnhof? Where is the train station? In case you need to go back to the airport, want to take the train, and you don't know where the train station are, then you're probably in trouble. So you should check beforehand on your map, or yeah, I don't know, take a cab or something. But maybe you're not late, maybe you have plenty of time, and then just want to find the way yourself. You can go and ask, hey, where's the train station? Need to catch a flight. Entschuldigen Sie, wie hoch ist der Fahrpreis? Excuse me, what's the fare? In buses or trains, if you haven't bought your ticket previously ahead, then you might want to ask the driver what's the price before we're taking it, to not be surprised later. Yeah, bus tickets in the city usually are like, I'd say, $2.50. Train tickets apparently depend on how far you want to go. I think a train ticket from Berlin to Munich, for example, €50, I guess. Depends also if you book ahead or not. But yeah, if you ask the driver or anybody at the train station, you probably haven't booked ahead. It's always smarter to book ahead, then you can get way cheaper tickets, especially for trains. In buses, usually you're not really able to book a ticket ahead. You just buy it right there. And yeah, the driver in the bus always is happy to help you out when you're uncertain about the price. So just ask him. Number 20, selfie time. Könnten Sie ein Foto von mir machen? Could you take a picture of me, please? Yeah, nowadays this question is not asked so often anymore, because you always do your selfies, right? You do that? Like, I could actually film all this in selfie, but I would be too shaky, I guess. But if you want a proper picture, maybe of your group with everybody in it and not just this long selfie arm, then you should ask a stranger on the street. And I told you previously that most Germans are know at least a little English, so they would understand if you have a camera and say, oh, could you take a picture please, that you all want them to take a picture of you. Good sentence to know if you're traveling alone or with your partner or in a group and you want to have a picture. Then just ask, oh, könnten Sie ein Foto von mir machen? Könnten Sie bitte ein Foto von mir machen? Going back home after your travel, you see clouds are coming back, like I'm not in this bright sun anymore. Yeah, time to go home. Yeah, travel is over, let's go back home and then bus to the airport. Have a good flight. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, it was fun. So if you come to Germany, if you're traveling here now, you really know like some sentences here and there. You can, if your German is not that fluent yet, that you can spread in for you to enjoy your trip more, also for the people you meet, the Germans, to make them have a good time seeing your effort speaking German. I believe whenever I travel to some country, I should know at least some sentences, so this is your entry card for the first trip to Germany. Yeah, if you want to learn more, subscribe to the channel at germanpod101.com. I hope to see you next time. Leave some comments. Ciao, ciao.